How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since I did my last loadout video, but I have a fresh one for you today, and it's something a little bit different. Now, in the past, I've been looking at loadouts with the same item quality. I've been looking at loadouts with similar themes across the different classes, but today I'm going to be looking at people. Actually going to be looking at the loadouts from some well-known TF2 YouTubers. So we're going to take a look at all of the classes and have a look at some of the YouTubers that are well known for playing different classes and see what items that they wear. So if you want to, if you want to copy out some of your favorite YouTubers, then that's what you can do. And these ones, bear in mind, are going to be budget ones. Okay, going to be budget ones. We all don't have massive amounts of, keys in the bank. So if you do want to replicate these loadouts, you can go with the regular hats as opposed to some of the unusuals, the many unusuals that these YouTubers do have. But with no further ado, we're going to go start off, and we're going to begin as always with our friend the Scout. And our Scout I have chosen for the YouTuber is Spiky Mikey. He's a well-known YouTuber who does a lot of trading videos and very, very active. And I've chosen him for the Scout. When I asked him, what kind of weapons do you like to use on Scout? Is there anything specific? He said, doesn't matter. As long as it's an Australian scattergun, that's the main thing. So I've put that on there just for good measure. But basically, we're going to be focusing on the cosmetics, guys. Okay, we're going to be focusing on the cosmetics. And we're starting off with the prehistoric pullover, which is the nice little raptor hoodie, little dinosaur there, which is, of course, an all-class hat. From the Gargoyle collection, which was the Halloween cases from a couple of years ago. It's a very nice hat indeed. Secondly, we've got the Bolt Boy. It's that robot version of the Bonk Boy that came out with the robot update. And finally, down here, we've got the Flak Jack, which came from the Gunmetal Cosmetics collection. Obviously, these items can all be strange. These two are strange. Or you can get just regular ones. I know Spiky has changed his loadout recently with a Hong Kong comb, but I like this one. Whenever I think of him, this is the loadout that I imagine. So this is the one I have rolled with. So there we go. If you want to copy him, that is the Scout. Moving on to Soldier, the person I've picked for Soldier. There's a lot to choose from, but I've decided to go with Nate Fox. Not been around recently, but a very, very good YouTuber. Made some great videos to do with tutorials about rocket jumping, sentry jumping, and all sorts of things like that. So if you were learning TF2, it was a great place to go and pick up some tips. And this loadout was actually one of his videos about his favorite loadouts back when he made a video about it. So this is perfect. This is perfect. We've got his Australian rocket launcher. That's what he used, as well as some gunboats and the Market Gardener, well known for going around using that Trojan loadout to try and get the Market Gardeners with the old meme spoon. But onto the cosmetics, we've got the War Pig, which is a very nice hat. It can be very expensive when you get an unusual version of it, actually. Just for those of you who happen to have an unusual War Pig lying around. Down here we've got the Exquisite Rack. There we go, that's the Exquisite Rack, which goes on with the Soldier. Those nice little horns. And then finally the Antarctic Parka, which is this nifty little jacket, just to keep you warm when you're flying through the skies, trying to land on someone's head and shovel their head in with a shovel. So that was Nate Fox on the Soldier. On to PYRO. Again, there was a few to choose from, but I've gone with someone whose name actually has the class in his name. So, I thought it was a good choice. I've gone with Pyro Joe. Pyro Joe, another trader YouTuber who does a lot of information about unusuals and stuff that's been coming out. So some great videos there. I've not chosen any weapons because, like I said, we're not going too specific because we're focusing on the cosmetics. And then we've got the Pyro's beanie here. Now, the only one I've got in my inventory is a vintage one. Of course, you can get unique ones, but they are the limited ones. They don't drop anymore. So there are only a specific amount in the game. He, of course, uses a burning one, but like we said, these are the budget ones. We're not going to go full hog and get the super, super expensive items. Down here, we've got the Last Breath. This is a very, very old school item. Was used by a lot of pyros. I used it myself for a long, long time on pyro. And it came out a long time ago, level 13, because, unlucky for some. And then down here we've got the Sub-Zero suit. Another YouTuber who likes to keep warm while he's fragging. And he's that nice little coat, little furry rim there. for the Pyro. So that is the Pyro that I've chosen from the YouTubers. That is Pyro Joe. On to DEMOMAN. Well, it's King Raja. It's King. You know, I was gonna say, hey, it's me, Golden DEMOMAN. Hi guys, I'm the DEMOMAN. But no, I thought I can't pick myself. That's just rude. So I have gone with King Raja, who is a well-known YouTuber who makes some great videos. Usually very, very funny videos. It goes for the comedy element, and there's been some great videos, including one about shrimping, which is something you should check out on his channel. But we've gone with the Thai Turner and the Australian Islander, well known for going the Demo Night style. So I felt those two weapons were key to have in there, just to get the feel for the correct loadout. Onto the cosmetics, we've gone for the Prince Tavish's crown. It's that crown for the Demoman. Just goes on his head. And just to keep with the king theme, he rolls with the King of Scotland cape as well. Genuine one, which you can pick up. You actually pick them up pretty cheaply these days, I believe. And finally down here, the Man of the Seven Seas, just to complete that suit and give you the kind of like an oldie worldy, like, you know, like an old king. Looks like an old regal king, right? But that's the loadout that King Raja uses, and you can pick up those items pretty cheaply, except for the Australian Islander, perhaps. You can get a regular Islander, that's no big deal. Those are obviously very cheap. Onto the heavy. Now heavy, there are not very many heavy YouTubers around, but somebody who is kind of identified with the heavy and his loadout is of course Soundsmith, who is a composer and sort of a sound designer. I'm not sure how you sort of design sounds and stuff like that, so it's something totally out of my depth. It's you know, something totally out of my scope of understanding. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, you definitely need to check out his YouTube channel for some great stuff like that. For his loadout on the heavy, you've even got a little bit of paint going on here, just so I could get, you know, the specific style. Starting off with the Doctor's Dapper Topper, painted Manco orange, just to give we're going to scroll down actually, just so you can zoom in on the heavy there, so you can see what is going on. That's the Dapper Topper, sorry, painted orange. And we've got the security shades. These days he has been using one of the pins of the jaunty pin from Tip of the Hats. Of course, if you've got, you know, if you donated to Tip of the Hats, then you can pick it. Sorry, the Jaunty Trailblazer, one of the one from 2016. This one was the year before. So if you donated, you can want to copy his loadout, you can do that. But the security shades are also on his avatar and stuff like that. And then again, the Allfather, probably one of the more expensive unique cosmetics around at the moment. But this is also painted orange. So if you want to copy him, you want your heavy to look exactly like him, just pick up a couple of cans of orange paint and slap them on your items, and there we go. That is our heavy YouTuber. Moving on to the engineer, and it's probably someone who needs no introduction. It is, of course, Uncle Dane. Again, with the weapons, I've not really gone for anything except for the Australian wrench. Every time I see an SFM or a picture or some art drawn of Dane, there is always that Australian wrench being featured. But onto the cosmetics. Need some white paint. Again, white paint is a little bit more expensive than the other paints. Same as black paint, they are slightly more pricey. But we've gone for the Danger. Of course, he has I believe it's a Miami Nights or a Disco Beatdown version of the Danger. So again, we're going for the budget version. But that is the hat, the Danger. Obviously, a reference to a certain series, Breaking Bad. And then we got the Gold Digger. Again, painted white, just to get that nice little white beard going. Again, it's an unique. There's quite a few. I didn't realize how many different beards and stuff there was available for the engineer. I used to use the Grizzle Growth a lot, but Dane goes with the Gold Digger. And finally, we've gone for the Insulated Inventor. It's from the end of the line community update. Obviously, if you got one back then, you got the early supporter tag, as you can see there at the bottom of the item description. And you can get regular ones, don't have to be strange ones. But that is what Dane uses. And again, another YouTuber who likes to keep warm, likes to have a nice fluffy jacket to accompany him when he's slaying people in the servers. But that is our engineer, Uncle Dane. On to Medic, and it's another person who's well known. It is Ray7, who is probably the most well-known Medic YouTuber there is out there. I had to throw in the bone saws simply because, you know, his old avatar was, you know, the two bone saws. I mean, it was just you saw the bone saws and you thought of him, so that's what I've thrown down there. But when it comes to the cosmetics, you can probably think of them off the top of your head. We've got the Berliner's bucket helm. This came from the medieval medic set from a long time ago, when the Amputator and the Crusader's crossbow came out, and that was the cosmetic that completes the set. Combine it with the Practitioner's processing mask. This is obviously the robot version of the procedure mask, which was one of the first cosmetics in the game, but it was also one of the first that actually covered the facial region as opposed to the top of your head. So for medics, you back then, if you had it, you're a pretty cool kid. And this is the robot version. And then finally we've got Das Metallmietenkassen. Yeah? All my German viewers, I apologize for butchering your language. It's been many years since I actually spoke German properly. But that is my best pronunciation. But there we go, it is that metal thing that goes on top. Use the minigun, you can probably see it a little better. Gives you some nice protection. So instead of, we got a lot of YouTubers that like to keep themselves warm. Array7 just, he likes to keep himself protected. As a medic, that's your instinct. You just want to stay alive. And having metal plating across your body is a pretty good way to do that. But there we go, that is our medic YouTuber, Array7. Moving on to Sniper, and we've got Snow. A Sniper YouTuber who's got some great clips for some sniper action. So if you're interested in seeing some good quality frags or some funny clips, check out Snow. Gone for the Australian sniper rifle. That's what he uses in a lot of his videos. And again, you're going to need a little bit of white paint if you want to copy this loadout, and slightly more expensive items than on some of the other ones. We've gone for the non-unusual versions, but hey, the Max's Severhead, it is it's a limited item. It makes it a little bit more expensive, but it's a Max's, so it's going to be worth a lot more. And he has a nice white one on the top of his head. Couples that up with the Villain's Veil. That's the trained killer style. And it is painted white. So, his name is Snow, and you've got the white items. That's good to stay in the snow. Keep yourself nice and camouflaged when you're trying to shoot off the heads of your people on those snowy maps. But finally, the snow sleeves, of course, another item from the end of the line community update. And again, I've got one of the ones that I created very early on. So get the early supporter tag, which I think you can trade for those. But you can get regular ones as well, and that's just another YouTuber who again likes to keep that body nice and warm while he's fragging. So that's our sniper YouTuber Snow. Finally, onto Spy. There was a lot of spies I could have chose from. There's people like Woolen, there's people like Stabby, but I had to go with Mr. Paladin, probably one of the most well-known spy YouTubers out there when it comes to TF2. When it comes to the items, Dead Ringer, and of course I had to just roll with the Ambassador. That Australian Ambassador that he uses. Very well known for his gameplay with that. But onto the items. Again, didn't go for the unusual ones, but we went for the actual items. The Detective Noir, painted white. I used to have one of these. I used to have a Burning Flames one of these back in the day. That was my first Spy Unusual that I used to wear a lot of the time before I switched over to my Fedora. But he has a nice painted white one there. And then we've got the Professor's Specs. These items that you get from helping people in TF2, as in, if they say that you've helped them. Apparently, I've helped 8 new users, and you can get strange ones. There you get a strange fire. You can slap it on there. He also has a strange version of the Lady Killer. And mine's just a limited one. It's just a unique one with the limited tag. It's from the late summer 2014 community crates. He's got a strange one. You can pick up a unique one if you want, but that's what you need to take yourself to make you look like Mr. Paladin. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little brief insight onto some of the loadouts of my fellow TF2 YouTubers. I hope you enjoyed seeing what they wear and me trying to put these things together. And again, if you ever want to replicate them, there you go. You now have the platform to do that. But definitely check out their channel. Some great YouTubers, some great videos, and some great content they put out. It's always nice to see other people doing TF2 stuff. And doing their own style, doing their own things. We've got traders, we've got competitive people, we've got all sorts of insight into TF2, so definitely check those guys out. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have more videos out soon as the summer approaches. Time is becoming more free, and I'll have more free time to do videos and streams. So take care, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.